So I'm Kevin Lyter. I went to Life West. I graduated in 2000, moved up to the great Pacific Northwest, and was practicing in a clinic. We did some more Pedibon upper cervical work, kind of an older version of Pedibon, and that was pretty good. But I had an opportunity to come in and work with Dr. Dean Simmons. I met him through my church, actually, and his son-in-law was a good friend of mine. And he was kind of showing me what they did in his office. My wife and I came in, and he took some x-rays of us, adjusted us, and boy, I'd never seen my wife balance out that well. Like, it really seemed to work for her. So I thought, I better figure out how to fix my wife, you know. So, and there was a little more to that, but mostly talking with Dean, I thought, hey, I got to come on board and learn how to do that. So I moved over into his practiced with him for about 15 years, and eventually bought the practice. Now, we were introduced to AdvO. We were doing Atlas orthogonal, which was great, but it was hard at times, man. I just felt the instruction of it wasn't, for me, quite as helpful in getting me to the place where I could get consistent good results, you know, almost all the time. And we were introduced to AdvO, and go ahead.
Where did you feel like you were hitting the wall? Where was there limits to AO in your experience?
You know, and I remember Dr. Sweat saying this in one of the seminars I went to with him, which was that any monkey can push the button, but it's all about that setup, you know, how you set that up. And I remember saying, I could probably set patients up better than anybody else in this room. And I think he was probably right. You know, he had some innate ability, that guy, to set folks up. And I somehow, it just never got communicated to me very well. Dr. Simmons was the same way. He was just amazing. He had an instinct for that, for the setup and all of that. And it just wasn't as, that just didn't work as well for me, just the way I was learning it. And what we loved about AdvO when we got introduced to that in 2008 was just the step-by-step nature of it, and why you're doing things, and what order you're doing them in, how you're positioning the patient, how it relates to the x-rays, and how then you can look at your post x-rays and determine how you want to do it differently next time if you didn't get the result you wanted. So it was the systematic nature of it, and I thought a really effective training on how to get to own that systematic nature and get consistent results very quickly. That's what really sold me on AdvO, and so that's how we got involved back in 2008.
I agree with you. There's an answer for everything, basically. You know, if you're missing something, if somebody's not holding, it's going to be in your x-rays. It's going to be in something that you're doing within the app. But you can dig it out, and there's going to be a solution versus, yeah, I need to call the guru. I need to figure out what they know that hasn't been articulated yet. You can really take somebody, put them through the training, and then there's really an answer for everything.
You know, we've seen that. I know with the training, doctors who come in and they'll take the basic courses, the three basics, and then they're coming back in for that fourth class, and they've got pre and post x-rays that are amazing. You know, they've learned how to set somebody up and get good results, and they feel like they can do it consistently. And that was what I loved about it. I had a couple questions. There were a couple things about the setup in AO as well that somehow just didn't quite work right with my brain. And I remember getting into my first AdvO class, and Dr. Pierce, he kind of had an answer for that. He says, well, this is what we do, and this is why we do it. And I thought, I've always kind of wondered about that. And they had already, I didn't take the steps to figure out what to do about it. He'd taken the steps to figure out what to do about it. So, that's what I loved about those guys, and they communicated that well. And there's just a great group in AdvO that's disseminating that among each other and teaching it to students really quickly. So